of all, we have our top 3 riders with us, which is Harry Meade, ANNAGHMORE, VALONER in 3rd, Tim Price, VITALI in 2nd, Ros Canter, LORDSHIPS, GRAFFALO in the lead. And also with us, Derek DeGrazia, our course designer here, might be interesting actually if we opened it up to the 3 riders to ask Derek some questions, but we might start with Derek. I think Tim's got a couple. Derek, I think congratulations, because we thought various elements were unjumpable and they rode beautifully. I know. So, is there a question there, councillor?
Yes, is there a question there?
Are you happy with how the day went?
No, I'm very happy how it went, and you know, it's always great. You know, you go through the week and the riders go out and they walk the course, and you know, you hope that they're happy and that they're not going to be too upset about things. And obviously, there was a lot of talk about the size of the triple brushes at the leaf pit, but you know, at the end of it, you know, to me, I always hope that we're going to have a good one go out first and go around and sort of say, okay, this all does work, and then it's really up to the riders to go ahead and do the job. And luckily, Harry went out on his first horse and went around and made it look very good. And so I sort of was very happy at that point. And then it's just a matter of sort of seeing how the day plays out. I think, you know, the good thing at the end of the day is really the fact that I think everybody came home safely. I think that obviously I don't know how they are on the barn right now, but we didn't have anybody leave in an ambulance. We didn't have any horses go off in an ambulance, and I think that we had a good day of sport.
Yeah.
And really a great result for the sport. So, and a lot of good pictures. So that's how I feel.
Did anything surprise you? Did anything turn out to be more ferocious than you thought?
Can I say not really?
Yeah.
Okay. No, not really. So
he's too good at this. He's just like, yeah, so, you know. Thoughts already forming for 2025?
Well, 2025 is actually going to be quite different than what you actually see here today, because the track will change quite considerably for 2025. So, so yeah, there's going to be definitely a different course out there.
Okay. More to come. Okay, let's hear from Harry Meade. Harry joining us for the first time this week, thanks to a clear inside the time from ANNAGHMORE VALONER. Your second clear inside the time. I understand since we went to short format, you're only the second rider to have 2 clears inside the time on the same day, same year, so congratulations on that. Talk us a little bit through the day and how one ride turned into the next, until eventually it's the horse that's in her first 5-star going into the podium.
Yeah, I mean, it was a brilliant track from Derek. It's, I mean, the thing about Burghley is, yeah, it's not the last bastion, because we hope, you know, the other sort of main 5 stars are holding the mantle as well, but it's a proper 3-day event, and you know, it asks every type of question. And what I loved about this course was there were questions which you didn't quite know how it was going to ride, like the leaf pits, but it was really clear to the horses. Those big brush fences, they're pretty obvious to horses. They're very difficult, they're very big. There was one rider who was complaining, said, don't you think they're too big? And I said, well, this is Burghley, you sort of expect that, but also they're obvious to the horses. Conversely, you get the little triple bar arrowheads just after the Cottesmore leap, and those kind of things aren't impressive to horses, and they can almost sort of step through them, and the rails at the Rolex turn aren't particularly, I never think horses read those kind of artificial frangible devices as well as sort of big tough Burghley fences. So I was really happy with some of those difficult questions that Derek gave us. And yeah, I mean, I had a lovely ride on the first horse and magic ride on the second, and the third, you know, she was my slight sort of risk bringing here. I left 2 better cross-country horses in a way at home, but I took a bit of a risk bringing her, thinking she could, if all went well, she could finish on the better score. And you know, she's quite a sensitive mare. I have to hold her hand the whole way. She doesn't tolerate anything being not quite perfect, and I tried to give her a really careful ride, but just do that at speed, and she was magic as well.
And what does tomorrow look like for those three? Is it three quite different personalities and preparations for show jumping for your three?
Yeah, I think the key to this thing, Tim had. Do you have 3 horses here last year? No, but he's had them before, and I had 3 last year. We've talked about it, and it's, yeah, I think it's just about being flexible in your mind, that you can get into the zone for each horse separately. You don't walk the course once. You think it through differently. Same with the warm up. Same with how much galloping you do before. How quick you come out the start box. How whatever, just everything, and it'll be the same for the way I go into tomorrow. And it's sort of almost that mental fitness, which is more difficult than the actual riding.
And in your mind at the moment, do your 3 stay in the same order?
I don't look at the order really. I didn't look at the entries. I haven't looked at the scoreboard all week. I was just told I had to be here now, so I must be in the top 3.
Tim, to come to you, you had your 2 rides today, your 10-year-old horse earlier on in the middle of the day, and then the wonderful VITALI at the end of the day. The 10-year-old horse, again, is a horse you think a lot of. What did he tell you about the course, and did it change anything you were going to do with VITALI?
They're very different horses. He's the first horse, Viscount Victor. He's big, and he's not really understanding how good he is or what he's doing. He's just galloping along, looking at fences and jumping fences. So a little bit like, it sounds like your last one, but not as classy. It was like holding his hand the way around. It's always nice to get out on the terrain. I think it gave me, a shot out of the start box and around the course, and that was fun. And I discovered a lot about him, so it was a good experience for him. And I feel like he's going to be a horse that is going to be able to bank this and then come back in the future to Burghley and capitalise on this experience. And that was the main aim there. And yeah, it warmed me up a little bit, but not a lot to really cross over. There was more watching a few horses. I don't watch too many, but just the clever design of this track, where there was a few places where I literally wasn't sure how many strides, and usually you're quite clear on strides and stride patterns and things, but and that was evident as the way different horses tackled different questions. They were doing different number of strides, and the ground here is always such an influence on that as well. So it's really about just enjoying the partnership I had with VITALI and being able to go out, and he's so nimble, I can change something if I need to, but today it was just about being bold and brave and allowing him to gallop and finding the balance in front of all these big and difficult and technical fences.
Was catching the time ever kind of on your radar? Was it always for you just going to be riding the moment, riding the balance?
Yes, I wanted to get inside the time. I just, it's just how it was for me and him. I'm pushing, but then you've got to be careful not to ask too much too soon, and then you've got a few jobs to do, climb some hills. But he stayed with me the whole way. But there's so many things to do out there other than just the time. But I was really happy with the way he came home. He was really charging his way down the hill and across the last couple of minutes. So I'm very pleased. I would have loved to have just quietly got inside, but that was a great round for him and me.
Okay, so you're wandering up into show jumping second last tomorrow rather than last. What happens? What have we done this summer?
I'm not going to give you all the ins and outs, okay. But he's a great athletic jumping horse, and today he actually jumped really well, probably better than he's jumped before, and we have 6 months to recover from disappointments of times gone by, and then to rebuild and reformat and think of what we can do better. And I think we've done a few things to that effect, and for him, it's like I say, he's physically very good, but I think the mental side of his game I think is in a better place, and I think tomorrow will be a good day for him to come out and show a little bit of how he's progressed.
Okay, well, 2 top 5s here before. Let's see what happens tomorrow. Ros, congratulations.
No pressure in second place, so let's go and have a good time.
Well, I just don't think he likes being in the warm-up last on his own. I think this is going to solve the whole thing. Ros, congratulations with GRAFFALO, and we'll chat a little bit about Walter. If we could go back to the beginning of the day and just tell us a little bit what happened with Isolot.
I think Isolot did what Isolot does. He either is fantastic or it generally goes wrong fairly quickly, which is what it did today. You know, I'm not at all despondent. I think a huge amount of him. I love the horse. I think he's going to be probably near or at the top of many more events. It's just my job to try and continue to, read his character and learn from him and try to help him, on these big occasions.
And then going on to the end of the day, GRAFFALO, Walter, came out and did the biz, but everything just looked, I mean, the time comes up when you're smooth, and you were just able to jump everything out of the rhythm you were in. You never looked like you touched the reins.
I think I did, actually. I felt like I did. It didn't feel as easy as everyone said it looked. But I think that's Burghley for you. It's the first time I've kind of actually got to the end of Burghley, with a competitive time and being fast. So, I definitely learnt a lot today. I have a slightly different feel from the horse towards the end of the course than I've ever had before. But you just can't fault him. He's an absolute athlete. He adores the cross country, and he's just amazing because I think someone said earlier it's like he's already walked the course, and it absolutely is. If I look, he looks, and he just, in a very fast way, he reads on the move.
It's kind of a duff question when you've won the European Championships and badminton on him, but is there anything in particular maybe about the Burghley show jumping day that you've thought about, from watching it in previous years? You go, that's something I maybe just need to think about with GRAFFALO?
Not yet, to be quite honest. I haven't really kind of, really studied and thought about tomorrow in great detail. But I certainly will. I mean, I've had a couple of really good rounds on All-Star B here in the past, and I'll definitely be calling upon my great friend and mentor Caroline Moore tomorrow, because she knows me so well. She knows the horse, and she puts the hours in just like we all do to try and get a great performance. So yeah, there'll be plenty of thinking to do tonight and tomorrow, but hopefully just a bit of time to enjoy today as well.
Thank you, Ros. As we should appreciate, it's been a relatively long day for these guys, not least riding 13, well in these guys' case 11 minutes 16 around the course. Are there any quick questions before we wrap it up, Lisa? Yes.
Just a quick one for Derek. Firstly, I just wanted to confirm, were there any changes to the league brushes after that discussion from the riders? And secondly, you mentioned there's going to be changes to 2025. Can you tell us any more about those at this stage?
So
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, so the leaf pit brushes were not changed. So that's that, and in the end, it all seemed to work out fine. So, and
Sorry, Derek, Martin, do we want to address the other part of that tomorrow? Is that something we're going to talk about tomorrow? If that's all right, Lucy. Yeah, I think we're going to do that as a compendium. Thank you.
Yeah.
Very good. I guess we're going to talk about it tomorrow.
Yes, here at the front.
Tim, can I ask what made you take the route you did up to the leaf pit drop?
Oh yeah, the boys route. I forgot to ask about the boys route.
Tom McKeown did it. I was like, you cheeky little bugger. I just thought he was a mate of mine. Anyway, kept that to himself. I don't know if it was that much quicker, but on an experienced horse like VITALI, I wouldn't have done that if I'd known about it earlier, and I hadn't seen it. You know about it? But so did you? But yeah, I'm sure. I think there was maybe 3 or 4 seconds in it. On an experienced horse, you can just flick around at the top and pop off the world's biggest drop. I think it would be a silly place to do it on the wrong horse and have a hesitation after your tight tune back to the drop. I just thought it was a bit faster, simple as that, and it worked out well.
Any more for any more? Cool, thank you so much. Let's congratulate them again, our top 3 today. Harry Meade, Tim Price, Ross Canter.